There's so many investment choices out there today and so many things to look at, and Wayne, a couple of them are mutual funds and ETFs. Talk to us a little bit about mutual funds and ETFs and why pick one or the other?
You know, I think oftentimes we waste energy talking about things that, the big thing, let's invest. let's
Step
invest.
one, you need to invest first.
It's kind of like this deciding which brother is right, okay? The brothers, come on. Maybe ETFs and mutual funds are kissing cousins. Definitely ETFs are tradable like a stock. You can trade them, you can predict and play games with the stock market more. They're a little bit cheaper maybe than a lot of mutual funds, but there are mutual funds that are just as cheap as ETFs. So the reality of mutual funds is the reason we use mutual funds in our practice a lot is because you can get academic-based, fact-based portfolios in mutual funds. And ETFs are really based on something that people like to buy. That's S&P 500. It's based on something. And they set it, and it's never exact, except the day they set it, and then they reconstitute in a year or whatever. But the best thing is invest. I don't care what you use. I don't care what you use. Yes, I like fact-based portfolios. Yes, I use mutual funds because that's how you get there. Either one's great, but make sure that it fits your risk tolerance. Make sure that you've allocated well. Make sure that you have enough cash out there to do what you want, and then invest. The biggest question, you know, people can spend so much time thinking about what investment, because there's literally tens of thousands of investments.
Right.
I mean, there's 16,000 stocks traded in the world, and there's more than 20,000 mutual funds. How can you have 20,000? Mutual funds are made up of stocks. There's 100 to 200 stocks in each one. How can you have more mutual funds than there are stocks traded in the world? It makes no sense.
Yeah.
And we can argue about which is best or better and which is the best technique. Yes, I believe fact-based portfolio is the way to do it. That brings probability of success. But we can argue about that all day long. The reality is allocation. Allocation drives it. Risk tolerance should drive how we build that allocation. And if we are true to facts, to what the academics have proven is true over this decades, then whether we use ETFs or, it's arguable. It won't be hard for me to go from what I'm doing today and use ETFs. It won't be hard for me to go from the funds I use and go use Vanguard or somebody else. Those are small things. The best thing is, do we invest? Are we on track? Do we have a
So
goal?
if I'm hearing you right, if you're standing at the produce aisle and you're gonna pick out a fruit, ETFs, maybe a banana, and mutual funds are oranges. And so either could be good, but your body needs it, your portfolio needs one or the other. It's time to invest, it's time to eat today.
I always eat my banana every morning because I cramp otherwise. So
Yeah,
we're gonna buy
bananas are good.
at least one banana. I don't care what else you buy.
I'm with you, I'm with you. I like grapefruit, but that's a whole other conversation.
But yeah, it is. It's an argument not to spend too much time on because they're good investments. Just know what you're investing on. Make sure you're well allocated. Make sure it fits your risk tolerance. Make sure it fits your plan. Otherwise, I do believe in fact-based portfolios. So that's where I would go, and that takes me to mutual funds. But you're going to be okay. One of the best client examples I have is a client hired me that invested in a mutual fund 35 years before they hired me. And they just put the money in and left it there. And it was amazing what it grew to over 35 years. And it was in the bottom quartile of all mutual funds.
Really?
But they just left it alone. They just let it grow. They added a little bit every month. And it's amazing how much. So really, doing sometimes is more important than the argument. We spend so much energy arguing about what's right or wrong. Invest. Invest. Have a plan. Have a goal. Make sure that your plan is what you're making decisions on. Don't listen to the news media. Don't listen. They're trying to get you to buy and sell because they make money. Our industry makes money if you just keep moving stuff. If you just keep moving stuff, we make, actually, that's not how our office makes money, but most of the industry, that's how they make money. So invest well. Have a plan. Have a coach. ETFs, mutual funds, they have their benefits, they have their negatives. Either one's okay if you have a plan, if you're unemotional, diversified, and systematic, if you are focused on your goals and not the news media. I think you'll have a better life.